In a world obsessed with digital speed, discover why humble paper checks hold the secret to unlocking true value, clarity in both business and life. By revisiting the almost forgotten act of writing a check, you'll find an unexpected guide to understanding why truly important in your personal and professional relationships, making commitments that count, and investing in what really matters. Don't let the digital age lull you into a false sense of success. If you overlook the lessons hidden in the simple act of writing a check, you risk building a business that is rich in data, but poor in genuine impact. Act now to harness this powerful metaphor and align your entrepreneurial journey with what your customers truly value, not just what they click on. Hello everyone, my name is Camper Bull, and if there's one thing you should know about me, it's that I love turning great ideas into even greater realities. With a track record of generating over $35 million for my clients, producing more than 100 successful launches, and being the creative force behind 6 New York Times bestsellers, I spent years mastering the art of effective marketing. And today, I'm here to share an incredible, powerful, but often overlooked metaphor that could revolutionize the way you approach your business and life. Are you ready to unlock some hidden wisdom? Let's dive in. Interestingly enough, I was down at the bank having to close out an estate. In the state of New Jersey, you can only open up an estate account, makes sense. But on the way out, you can only pay money out of that estate account using a paper check. In this world of electronic checking and the ability to get funds transferred back and forth, this was the most archaic system I have ever seen. And it forced me to slow down and remember how to write a check. It's been so long, it really took me a minute. I've been using electronic checking and bookkeeping for so long, I had to stop and remember how to write a check, just from those elementary days when they actually taught you. And if you've all seen my handwriting, it's a challenge in and of itself. But it's an interesting metaphor. As more we think about, the more we slow down, and a couple of things come to mind, and it's a great metaphor for teaching and understanding some very important points. The first point is to test by writing a check. In other words, we can do all sorts of testing. We can have amazing ability to see into products and see exactly what they're interested in and where they look and how much time they spend on each of the pages that they go to and where their eyes go. Amazing amounts of information. How many people, tens, hundreds, and millions of people have watched, consumed information, and how they go on and what they're interested in. And it's amazing stuff, don't get me wrong. But what we've missed, what we begin to miss, is the information is not as valuable as they are. Are they willing to write a check is the question I ask. Are they willing to put their money where their mouth is? So a check is a metaphor for actual productivity of the company. In other words, can we create a product or a service or an idea that people are actually willing to sit down and write a check for, give us money for, and be conscious consumer opposed to an unconscious consumer? Will they take their time to do that? And if that's the case, will they move towards that? The amount of data we have now can be absolutely overwhelming. I enjoy it, but it's challenging. But the question is, will they write that check? Will they stop now? If they're only writing a check for 2 or 3 cents or $1.75, it's a different story. But if they'll stroke a check for $1,000, $10,000, $25,000, then we know we're moving in the right direction and we're providing good quality service and we're serving our clients right. Another thing I use internally is the conversation about who signs the check. The check is a way of explaining to everyone in a very clear form how the process works. And I say things like, when they're complaining about management and they're complaining that they should do or we should be doing X, Y, and Z, a good metaphor to remind us exactly where we're coming from, who signs the front of the check, and we sign the back of the check. I like using that with my team because it explains to them so much exactly what's going on. They sign the front of the check, we sign the back of the check. That we understand what the flow of money, again, setting the expectation over a period of time gives us the opportunity to have conversations about something that really is not much used anymore, checks. But we have a physical understanding of that, which we can then translate into much better understanding of where we're going and what we do. The metaphor of a check is all about something that is tangible to help us understand things that may be intangible or make them more concrete than they already are. In the grand scheme of things, we are trying to push forward in a way that gives us something that we can use physically to understand and something that may or may not be as clear to us owing the digital revolution. That we're used to the concept of a check to push our consciousness forward and create an understanding of how we work together to become better at what we're doing by either understanding exactly what the company is and what they'll write the check for, or exactly how we're working and what the hierarchy is to who we should be serving in the company. You sign the back of the check, he signs the front of the check, or she signs the front of the check. Both of those gives us the metaphor to have conversations about how much more esoteric an idea that gives us the unique ability to really have a conversation and a metaphor of something everyone else understands but may not be able to do. Give me an example of the metaphors that you use in the comments below. I look forward to talking to you. Thanks for tuning in to today's episode on the Strategy Session, where we take your business from stuck to unstoppable. Here's another video I think you'd enjoy. If you found these insights valuable, remember to hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and ring the bell for notifications on our latest videos. Want to transform your business with expert strategies? Schedule your strategy session today by clicking the link in the description below. Remember, you're not just marketing, you're making history with Venture Gained. See you in the next video.